All right, KentStateSports.com here with Gymnastics head coach Bryce Biggin. And Coach, would you like to have an opening statement?
Yeah, obviously, we're excited to be going down and compete against Bowling Green. They're one of our foes in our conference, a team that has really improved over the last couple of years. And we know we're going to have great competition out there. So, we're going down there very focused, ready to compete well, and really looking forward to the challenge that we're going to have out there.
All right, and then looking back to last week, the balance beam almost cost you. How do you plan to improve in that area going forward?
Hopefully stay on the beam. I mean, it starts obviously with that. We just need to go out there with a little more confidence. I think, we had a good lead going into beam, and for whatever reason why, we either let down our guard a little bit or we just lost a little bit of our focus. And we've really worked on trying to regain some of that focus in practice this week. And if we can go out there and just kind of take the routines one at a time, and really go out there and do the best of our ability on each routine, then I think we'll be fine.
All right, and then obviously you beat Western Michigan going out to play Bowling Green, another conference member. What would be the significance in starting conference play out at 2-0?
Well, every conference meets a tough meet. We know that we're going to see the best that Bowling Green has to offer. They're going to be up for the meet. They're at home. They compete well at home. And they usually compete well against us as well. So, we know that, if we can go out there and start off the year 2-0, it's going to give us a lot of momentum going into the last couple of conference meets. And that momentum certainly helps with the confidence.
And then against the Falcons, where do you think you can find an advantage against them?
Well, I think it really comes down to depth. I know they're going to have some very good routines, and what I'm hoping is that our 4th, 5th, 6th routines, 5th, 6th routines are a little bit more solid than their last couple of routines. And if we can go out there and just stay steady from 1 to 6, then I think we certainly give ourselves a very good chance of winning a lot of meets, no matter whether it's against Bowling Green or someone else. Bowling Green's got a lot of good kids, but hopefully if we can from 1 through 6 be very solid, I think that'll be our advantage that we can gain.
And then just earlier today, Marie Case was named the MAC Gymnast of the Week and Rachel Guido was named MAC Specialist of the Week. Could you give your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously two very well-deserved awards for both those young ladies. We know that, for us, Marie Case is she's the bread and butter of our team. She needs to be able to be consistent and solid for us to be at our best, and we certainly saw that from her last week against Western Michigan. When we needed a lift up, she was there, did the job, and came through the way that champions do. So certainly a well-deserved award for her. But Rachel Guide is one of our seniors, who has really come on this last year. She started 2 on bars last year, but she has been our most consistent and dynamic bar performer. 3 meets, 3 wins. Can't ask more from her from that. Added in, a new dismount this year that she's doing extremely well. Is vaulting very well right now. So, as a senior, she's doing everything that you expect your seniors and leaders to do by going out there and really setting the bar high. So, we're certainly very excited and very pleased for both those young ladies because, once again, very well deserved.
And between those two, how do you think they set the tone for the rest of the team?
Well, I think they bring that excitement of knowing that those two can really score high on events. And so, like I said, from 1 through 5 or wherever they're at, those girls' job is to go out there, be consistent, and really start the bar off high so that hopefully someone like Marie on beam, or Marie on floor, or Rachel on bars are going to go out there and really be able to set that really high last score and help the team out. But, it gives the girls an opportunity to realize where they can be, where they should be, and it gives them an opportunity to help set those two up for some big scores.
All right, and then going into the meet against Bowling Green, any final thoughts?
No, I know it's going to be a good meet. It'll be a very competitive meet. We just, we're going to go out there kind of focused on ourselves and what we need to do to be consistent, what we need to go out there and do to get a good away score, and hopefully come away with a big win at the end of the day.